Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out of this world story from our space. My soon to be ex wife cheated on me while in rehab. My toxic marriage of nearly 7 years has finally reached the point of no return. It's been a mess for several years. Police called many times and each of us has been arrested. We separated 1 year ago. Avowed for divorce nearly 6 months ago. Her mental health was a serious issue in her marriage, but now she has become a pill addict. I'm talking about taking an entire month's supply of Xanax in 2 days. The drugs plus her mental health issues made my life unenjoyable. In April, after she was arrested for walking around my neighborhood under the influence and naked, she checked into a rehab sober living facility. It was my understanding that she was there to better herself, and we would give our family another chance to be clean and sober. We continued talking nearly every day and hanging out once a week. I haven't logged on to Facebook in about 7 years. Last week I did and had a message waiting for May. The message was from the wife of the man she's been sleeping with during her entire stay. She told me everything, including the part where my ex-wife admitted everything to her. Apparently, she has videos and texts of their time together. I wasn't hurt or upset or even angry, which is out of character for me. I actually felt relief. I feel this has given me the closure I need to move on with my life. I haven't addressed this with my ex. There doesn't seem like a need to. I have just ghosted her. We have 2 young children together, so I will be dealing with her, but moving forward, I will only speak to her the bare minimum amount required to co-parent with her children. We have 50-50 custody. Actually, I have 100% while she's in rehab. This relationship was toxic from day one. Some of my best experiences in life came with her by my side, but so did many of my worst. I have lost quite a few friends due to this marriage. My relationship with my parents and sister was strained at times for the same reason. Lastly, I feel like with everything she has done during and since her marriage, I feel no obligation to help her out financially. I will of course continue to provide my children with everything they ever need for life, but I don't feel I owe her a dime. I'm now in the process of taking back control of my life. I'm not ready to date or take on a new relationship. I'm going to focus solely on myself and my children. My only concern is the type of men she will be bringing around our children. She craves male attention and I fear she will jump at the first man or many men to show interest. Anyone have experience with their ex bringing of losers around your children? Ask a question and you know you're going to get a response from the community. Sad Excitement 9875 says, "It sounds like you have both been through a lot and finally have gotten closure. If I was you though, I would try for full custody. It sounds like your wife has a lot of issues with everything being documented. You might have a good chance at it." T.O. Olette says, "I would push very hard for full custody with visitation and strict stipulations about who can be brought around the kids. Wish you the best at getting things turned around." No Fear No There says, "Due to her history, file for full custody with supervised visits and add in a stipulation of no one of the opposite sex can accompany her. Depending on her past, you may want to get a DNA test for the kids because the subject may eventually come out. To be honest, if you do get full custody, she may disappear for several years until she gets straight. Don't depend on any type of rehab program because they are ineffective until the individual decides to come clean. Make you and your children the main focus. I'll help you with the divorce because this will be rough on you and a nightmare for the children if the relationship continues. Good luck." Moving on to the next story. Wife of 10 years cheated with a woman. With update. My wife and I have known each other for 12 and been married for 10 years. Recently, I noticed over the last 3 weeks her going out to the city to visit a friend she made. She continues to be out there past her commuted time and ignores my calls and texts. We get in a fight when she went out to brunch at 3:30 p.m. instead of coming home to our family as she said she would. She stayed the night out there because of the fight and made me feel that I was overreacting about her spending time in the city. I found she deleted my incoming texts from my phone that she sent me from another cell she had texted me from in the city, which set off a red flag. I allowed messages to run on our home computer and was heartbroken to find the texts showing her having an emotional affair, saying things like, "Don't say anything around here, my husband is around." I confronted her, and she said that it doesn't count because she's a woman. Then eventually said that she was definitely spending an inappropriate amount of time away from home and would fix it. I couldn't sleep that night, and I went through her phone. Side note, earlier in our relationship, my wife had trust issues and set the expectation of no cell phone privacy. She had Snapchat installed, which she hadn't before, and there was no text history for her friend. She missed one thing on her phone, a new created email account. It contained video and texts from Snapchat confirming a physical affair that started 2 months ago. I'm heartbroken to find sexting and confirmation of a physical relationship. I confronted her again, and she admitted what was going on after trying to lie repeatedly. She wants me to allow her to go out once a week and stay together, as things were before I found out. I want to stay with her, but I can't share her, not with somebody at least to encourage lying and forming a relationship with a married woman. Need advice. Update. I didn't include that we have a 2 and 7-year-old. I also wanted to add that this is from 2 days and about 12 hours ago. And also add, after confronting her about the situation again and letting her know that I can't share her with somebody like that who encouraged cheating and exploring sexuality without your spouse's knowledge or consent, I told her that I would eventually be open to us as a married couple dating another woman, but that we need to always come first and that the emotional part of her affair was the most devastating. She chose me and the kids and broke up with her, but she continues to plead with me that she can't live without her specifically. They met 2 months ago. When I tell her that if she feels that way, I'll get out of the way for her happiness and we'll get a divorce, as she also tells me that she can't live without me. I also found out that she told the affair partner that in 6 months she'll contact her and let her know if she can't live without her. Another chew that I had to dig to get, but she did eventually tell me. She wants to have her cake and eat it too, to continue with the stable family life we've built, and to also be able to escape the family life and be free like she was before kids. I need advice or to hear what you did in a similar situation. Thank you for all of your input. I will update after we talk this evening when we're back from work and seek more advice, opinions, and comments. First piece of advice coming from K. Virillo. Your update makes it crystal clear that you need to leave. The serious teaching sturdy chimes in, just because you're bi doesn't mean you can't be monogamous. My bi friend, Carrie. Get into therapy. She's obviously way off if you already had issues in the past, and she knows the boundaries of the relationship. If she's not willing to cut out a affair partner and put her family first, then she's got to go. She's following the cheater's handbook: deflection, rationalization, gaslighting. She's 100% in the fog right now. If you're going to act, you need to do it while she's behaving irrationally. The second stage will be cold resentment and hostility towards you. She will then rip you apart in a divorce, because most states are no fault, and family courts are heavily weighted towards mom. Next comment comes from Jacques Lecoq. Brother, cheating is cheating as she wants to continue cheating, and you want to be her doormat. As she can't live without this other person, then divorce her and let her live. You need to do it on your terms, not in 4 months when she blindsides you and paints you as the bad guy. Kitty Muffin Pile has a last comment before moving on. She chose me and the kids and broke up with her. What? Not only did she not choose you and the kids, the only thing she has done is prolong the inevitable. Not only have you embraced her cheating, without any consequences to her actions, you rubber-stamped it now. She momentarily made you believe that the kids and you are important to her. If they were, she would not have been cheating in the first place. You claim that you always need to come first, and she agrees. After she got caught cheating is meaningless. She didn't break up with this person, she's just getting better at cheating. It will be harder to catch her in the future. You need to divorce this person. They are showing absolutely no remorse for their actions. Cheating isn't a mistake to this person. She doesn't think she's doing anything wrong. It's over, and you just can't wrap your head around it yet. Alright, last story for this episode. My girlfriend cheated on me with a coworker. My 27 female girlfriend of 2 years, who I lived with and truly thought was my best friend and the person I was going to marry, cheated on me and left me for another coworker. We all worked together during the same time that my dad was dying of cancer. Now, on top of feeling so alone in the grief of my dad's death, I have to see the two of them nearly every single day. I never once got an apology or honest explanation, just complete coldness. She literally discarded me like a piece of trash and is perfectly fine seeing me in pain every day, ignoring it and going on with her life as normal. Interacting with this girl at work, just like we used to, for all to see. To have to watch yourself literally be replaced in every way, right in front of your eyes, and to not be able to do anything about it, has been hell on earth. The feelings of betrayal after all we had been through together are relentless, and a lack of closure or understanding of how this ever could have happened, when I truly thought she was committed and loyal to our relationship, eats away at me every single minute of the day. Going into work is truly the hardest thing I've ever done. It's been a few months now since I discovered the extent of her lies, and we haven't spoken after I reached out to her numerous times, to no response. I still feel like it's day one. I cry every day and wake up and go to sleep feeling like someone is cutting open my chest. I have to see the person that I loved more than anything in the world and would have done anything for, and have to pretend like I don't know her is devastating to me. I can't reconcile the fact that the person who I experienced so much happiness and closure with and made me feel so important and special It's the same person that could lie relentlessly and discard me in favor of someone else like it was absolutely nothing. During a time when I thought she was going to be my biggest support, I attributed her growing distance and our relationship to other things. And while my gut told me something might be up, I never fully believed she could be capable of something like this. To experience this level of deceit and betrayal really messes with your mind. I've been seeing a therapist, which isn't doing much. I'm also strongly considering finding a different position. But I know it will come with a pretty significant financial loss, and it's hard for me to accept that I have to start over because of my ex's choices in complete disregard for my well-being. Any words of encouragement or similar experiences, or experiences where you were able to move on and find happiness and your own closure, would be so appreciated. I never in a million years that I would be living this nightmare. Ethan B has the first response. It does get better. I had the same situation in my 20s. A few things I recommend. Go no contact and do not show her how much you hurt. It will only feed her ego and need for attention. Yes, look for another job. Preferably similar pay, if you can. Go to the gym and work on your frustrations. It's as good as, sometimes better than, therapy. An added benefit is an improvement to your physique. Honestly, the best revenge is happiness and success. Clearly, she was not deserving of your love. Find someone deserving. Go be awesome and don't let your trash ex define your self-worth. She's not worth it. The same ex now describes me as their one they got away. Shouldn't have cheated then, ha! And whilst I have grown and become much more successful, they are almost in the same position in life and financially as when we get together. The pain is temporary. Wishing you the best. My Guns has a response that kind of feels like a story. My girlfriend of 7 years cheated on me with a guy she worked with. It completely destroyed me. She was my everything, and the way I found out put me into a state of shock. I went into a deep state of panic, anxiety, and depression. I lost over 30 pounds because I couldn't eat. I didn't enjoy anything in life anymore, and all I could think of was the pain she caused me. Every morning, I would wake up anxious and into a nightmare. All I could think of was her, how much I missed her, how much she lied to me. I was a complete mess. I was angry, scared, sad, depressed, just everywhere. It was the worst pain I ever experienced. Everyone around me said I was a ghost. I wasn't the same person anymore, and they were all worried for me. It was rare that I smiled, and I broke down crying so many times, sometimes just in the bathroom at work because I would remember how she deceived me. I was piecing everything together on how she went behind my back to see this guy. I had almost given up. I wanted the nightmare to end. I started volunteering and going back to church. I took classes at my church that made me interact with people. Really good people, in fact. I judged them at first glance, but these were ordinary people with ordinary problems of their own. I shared my story with them, and it helped because they heard me. They would share back and tell me their struggles. It was comforting to know that I wasn't the only one who had gone through that. I made good friends there who encouraged me and didn't judge me for a second. My friends also supported me and tried to distract me. My family was very supportive, and even if I had to repeat myself, they all listened. My wounds felt fresh for months. The truth is, it took time and a lot of effort on my part to keep moving forward. Step out of my comfort zone. Reach out for support. Find people to talk to and advise me. I had to rebuild my identity, my soul, my spirit. It seems all dramatic now that I look back, but it did transform me into someone stronger. I found someone better, found a better job, traveled and bought my first house. Things will get better. Don't ever give up and stay strong. We will now hear the closing argument from Miss M. Rose 22. Unfortunately, the other thing that helps is time. My ex-fiancé dumped me for a woman he worked with, who he went on to marry, and then 3 weeks later, my mom died. He ghosted me, and when I reached out when my mom died, he ignored me. For the piece of crap he dumped me for. Insecure much? It literally hurt to breathe as I missed him so much. 5 years together gone on top of my mom dying, and I actually thought I was going to die from the pain. 6 months later, I felt I was in more of a level headspace, so I packed up, moved to another town. I didn't know one person there. Got a new job, made lifelong new friends, and lost 25 kilograms. Within a year, I started seeing someone new, who I ended up being with for 7 years. Your wings have been clipped, and they will grow back. While they're going back, think of new things you can start doing to start making your revenge, and that revenge, my friend, is happiness. Side note, I recently heard through a mutual friend that my ex-fiancé is miserable in his marriage and has been for quite a few years. Me? I'm happy as a pig in mud with my new life. You will be too.